Well, I worked full time in New York City, and I came up on weekends for my sanity. And then when I decided to leave New York, Pocono Whitewater hired me as their river operations manager in 1987.
Wow.
So it went from weekend work to full time in one season.
In the back row.
Well, River Guides Day, we have people come in 1 hour before their trip arrival time. When they are already a guide, we have them, they know what time their trip is, and there's an arrival time associated with that trip. So they come an hour ahead of time. They're supposed to be dressed, ready to go an hour ahead of time. There they meet their people who are getting there, a little after that at the arrival time, and they meet their people. They're the public contact. So our guests meet the guides in a parking lot. They meet them at the life jacket bins. They're squired to the briefing area. They're briefed by their guides, and then the guides go on the bus with them. So it's the guides' day can go anywhere from 5 hours to 8 hours, depending on, river section, water levels, and any challenges that are. But basically, I run, I call it the band. I have, the team of people that do what we do. Between guides and administration people and truck crew and bus drivers, so I conduct that band every weekend. Best way to become a river guide? Well, the idea is that you need to be able to smile when you're tired, hungry, cold, at times, but you need to be a people person. And people from other parts of the country come around sometimes wanting to be river guides, and they don't have a great people personality. And I'd much rather find someone with a people-oriented personality, fun-loving person, and teach them the river guiding part. That's a better outcome for us, for sure. Yeah. And so, but they can approach one of the rafting companies, come to us, come to me. We train them in first aid and CPR and swift water rescue, and then you're given positions. Once you become a river guide, you're not given the keys to the whole show right away. You're put in a position of relatively low responsibility while everyone learns how you behave and how you act, and it's easy to do. We all say that it almost always goes well, and when something goes wrong, that's when the training of the guides really shows. So most times nothing goes wrong. We practice very hard for everything to go right. I think we have a pretty mature guide staff, meaning our average age is probably in the mid-30s, 30, 29, and so some of the more experienced people obviously are older, but we like to have that blend of, the experienced, seasoned person, and mixed with the young, exuberant, fired up, new river guide. Awesome. Here we like people that the river guides among our whole staff have the widest parameter of behavior and dress. We want them to be fun. We want them to be entertaining. Some of them dress in the most awful color combinations ever, but it makes everyone smile. And they show up with crazy hats, crazy bandanas. So the river guides are sort of part of the trip. When people come to Carbon County to do Lehigh Gorge, the river guides are part of the entertainment. And so they're expected to be entertainers as much as river guide at times. The hardest parts of being a river guide can be challenging people. Sometimes water levels can be lower water levels, and higher water levels, frankly, more challenging than lower water levels. And there's always the raft that gets stuck. We call them pin rafts. When they, rafts have 2.8 pounds of air pressure in them, so they look big and strong. But when you push them around with water, they bend around rocks, and occasionally they get really wrapped around rocks. And so the guides are always, complaining about a pin raft, but then at the end of the day, they're sitting around the picnic table, sharing a story with anybody who'll listen about, there I was, pulling these people off the rock all by myself, So the challenging parts can be challenging at the moment, and they become folklore later. Yeah. Sometimes you would put, as a guide, you would put your kayak in a place where no one else would put their kayak if they were a private paddler, because you have to be able to get in and out and handle yourself. So sometimes as with anything, training people above what they usually need keeps them calm when they need to make a particular move to get to a raft. It's a key thing. Just can you do the move under pressure?
Yeah.
The guides are trying to maximize the people's good time, and that might be directing them to the deepest water, the best waves, keeping them away from any rocks that'll cause them to run aground. So if they listen to the guides really know what they're doing, and the guides are faced with every day. They're with a different culture, a different person, a different age group, a different language barriers. So they are very good at being mimes, very good at being what we call nonverbal communication. How to, so if the guests understand that if the guide is waving at them, there is a reason. That's usually with their fun and safety in mind. I think the best part of being a Lehigh River guide might be that being able to be outdoors every day you work and being able to share that experience. People come to professional outfitters because they don't own rafts, they don't own paddles, they don't have the skill set, they don't have transportation. So when they come, they are truly paying us for all that training, all the gear, and that experience that people bring. So the guides bring the experience, and then that's sort of the thing people can expect, is that the guides will show you the outdoors with the red carpet. Favorite part about what I do is very closely related to sharing this gem of Carbon County to people who don't know how beautiful it is. When I first came here, I couldn't believe the Lehigh Gorge. When I went through the Lehigh Gorge the first time, it was 2 hours from Manhattan. Couldn't believe it. And so when I see people from cities, all walks of life come here, and their eyes wide open, and they're just dumbstruck by the beautiful environment here. That's really what it's about.